Welcome to the HealthForce product training on CircuForce. So because CircuForce is primarily a brain support product, I want to start off by discussing a little bit about the human brain. So our brain clearly helps to facilitate abstract thinking and reasoning, and our brain also controls the function of all our other body organs, however. So clearly keeping our brain healthy is important, not just for our cognitive health, our ability to think clearly, but also for the health of our body as well, as any dysfunctions in our brain eventually have an impact on all of our other body functions. Our brain is typically about 3 pounds in weight and contains about 100 billion neurons or nerve cells. And although our brain constitutes only about 2% of our body weight, it requires about 20 to 25% of our body's oxygen supply, and that oxygen is transported into our brain through the blood-brain barrier by our bloodstream. Our body very much tries to protect our brain. It considers our brain very important, obviously, by encasing it in a very thick skull, and also this blood-brain barrier helps to filter our bloodstream so that only compounds which are supposed to get into our brain get into our brain. Now that's in an ideal world. In practice, most people have a leaky blood-brain barrier, and things that aren't supposed to be getting into the brain are getting into the brain. But in theory, this blood-brain barrier is designed to protect our brain, not allowing noxious chemicals to get in to affect our brain, for example, ideally. But this 20 to 25% of oxygen supply utilization is really an extraordinary amount of metabolic activity that goes on in our brain, because our brain is very active, controlling the rest of our body effectively and doing all of our thinking for us, or processing our thinking for us. 2/3 of our brain is composed of polyunsaturated fat. Polyunsaturated fat is fat that contains 2 or more double bonds. These double bonds are highly reactive, and these double bonded polyunsaturated fats are incorporated into the membranes of all the nerve cells. And this is what allows the nerve cells to be so interactive with each other and processing enormous amounts of information. These polyunsaturated fats, the most prevalent polyunsaturated fat in the brain is DHA, docosahexaenoic acid. We also have arachidonic acid and gamma-linolenic acid present in our brain structure. These are all components of healthy breast milk, by the way, these polyunsaturated fats, because they're obviously required to build healthy brain tissue of the fetus. And these polyunsaturated fats really help maintain the flexible and dynamic membranes that are able to transmit and receive enormous amounts of information in our brain. So I want to talk now a little bit about some factors that affect brain health. Turns out life in the modern world is not so great for brain health, potentially. The stressful lifestyles that many people lead, the standard American diet that many people eat, for example, these things are not good for the health of our brain. One of the things that people experience in the modern world is hypoglycemia. And hypoglycemia, or low blood sugar, which typically happens when you spike your blood sugar after eating something with a lot of sugar. A few hours later, the blood sugar crashes, you have a hypoglycemia moment. Well, the brain uses the sugar in the blood to basically produce energy. It burns that sugar with oxygen to produce energy. So if you don't have enough sugar, you can't make any energy, and you end up with like mental confusion and dizziness, or convulsions potentially can occur because you're not getting enough sugar into your brain. And that our bloodstream also carries oxygen into our brain. Oxygen critically important for energy production in our brain as well, and oxygen really critically important for the health of our brain cells. If you go without oxygen for up to as little as 4 minutes, you can have permanent damage to the brain cells as a result. So given that our brain uses 20 to 25% of our body's oxygen supply to produce energy for metabolic activity, the free radical damage is a potential problem in the brain. I mean, anytime oxygen is burned for energy in any body tissue, you get free radical generation, oxygen radicals specifically. These oxygen radicals can go on to do free radical damage to the cells that are producing this energy. And the cells of the brain are, remember, 2/3 fat and polyunsaturated fat, mind you, which is extremely fragile, extremely uh, basically susceptible to free radical damage. And combine that with the fact that brain tissues don't really produce as many antioxidants as many of the other tissues in the body do. What we have here is really a perfect storm for potential free radical damage. We've got an enormous amount of free radicals being generated by metabolic activity of the brain. We've got not a lot of antioxidants being produced, and we've got highly sensitive or fragile tissue that's susceptible to being damaged by free radicals. So this is why things like blueberries are considered to be such great brain food, because blueberries are very high in antioxidants. And whenever you've got a lot of free radical damage, this has been associated with conditions like dementia and Alzheimer's disease forming in the brain. So critical that we keep the free radical damage down in our brain tissues. Another thing that can potentially be a problem is something called advanced glycation end products. This is a compound that forms in brain tissue and really throughout the body whenever you have too much sugar in your blood. And somebody who eats a lot of sugar in their diet, or somebody who has diabetes, which results in permanently high blood sugar levels. All this sugar in the blood is very sticky. I mean, if you pour maple syrup on your arm, it's extremely sticky. So sugar is sticky, and sugar therefore has a potential to stick to cells in the body, and it bonds with proteins or fats in our cells to form these advanced glycation end products. And these advanced glycation end products will typically destroy the functioning of the cell over time. So if sugar sticks to your cells, it will destroy those cells. And so certainly, because you can get a lot of these advanced glycation end products forming in the brain when you've got a lot of sugar in your blood. And anytime you've got advanced glycation end product formation, you've got free radical formation happening as well. So damage to your brain cells via either free radical damage or these advanced glycation end product production can be dramatically reduced by consuming food or supplements containing abundant levels of quality food-based antioxidants. And that would be things like vegetables, all the different colors of the rainbow, really good to eat. Many different types of vegetables in your diet because of the different types of antioxidants that are in all those colors. Also berries. Berries are just really high in antioxidants and low in sugar. So berries are another great food to support brain health. Another thing that really damages the brain is chronic stress. When you're stressed, your adrenal glands secrete stress hormones into your bloodstream. One of those stress hormones is cortisol, and chronic exposure to high levels of cortisol, for example, has been shown to actually shrink our brain and also damage brain cells in the area of our brain needed for memory and learning. So chronic stress damages the brain. Another thing that happens when you're chronically stressed is the stress hormones divert blood sugar away from the brain to fuel your muscles. I mean, the stress response, stress hormones are an evolutionary adaptation to help us escape danger, something like a saber-toothed tiger. So when you are trying to escape something, your body's concerned about fueling your muscles for energy production there, not energy production in your brain. So when you're stressed, when there's stress hormones in your blood, your body will actively shunt sugar away from your brain and feed it to your muscles so you can have the energy in your muscles to escape that saber-toothed tiger. And this effectively reduces the amount of energy production in the brain and therefore negatively impacts the brain's cognitive and regulatory functions as a result. So let's talk now about CircuForce specifically. This product is a brain and overall body tonic containing 3 different herbal extracts which are known for their adaptogenic effects. And remember, adaptogens are herbs that really help your body handle stress more effectively. The 3 herbs in this product are ginkgo biloba extract, Siberian ginseng or eleuthero extract, and Gotu Kola extract. All 3 of these herbs also are standardized to contain specific amounts of bioactive compounds. So let's talk about these 3 herbs specifically now. Ginkgo biloba extract, which is the most prominent herb in the formula. You can see twice as much ginkgo in this formula as Siberian ginseng or Gotu Kola. Ginkgo biloba is the leaf of a tree that is actually the oldest tree known. It's been around for up to 270 million years, apparently. So really an ancient organism, Ginkgo biloba. And the leaf extract is known, it's been used for centuries to promote blood flow to our brain and really throughout our circulatory system, really to our whole body. It's got potent antioxidant compounds in it that help to protect not only our brain, but also our liver and adrenal glands from free radical damage. Siberian ginseng, the second herb in the formula, is a really powerful adaptogenic herb that supports our body's ability to handle stress. It's great for athletes. It has antioxidant properties to help protect brain and then the rest of the body. Also contains choline, a nutrient that the body can convert into acetylcholine, which is an important neurotransmitter in the brain that supports learning and memory retention. And Siberian ginseng also supports circulation and cellular uptake of oxygen, just improves your oxygen utilization efficiency effectively. So this is a herb that's really great for athletes, and it's certainly great to support brain health as well. And now also let's discuss Gotu Kola leaf extract. This herb is one of the most important herbs in the Ayurvedic tradition. Helps to combat the negative effects of stress, fatigue, and caffeine. Caffeine is actually not so great for brain health. It's actually a powerful vasoconstrictor. It tends to reduce blood flow and oxygen into the brain by as much as 30%. So Gotu Kola can help reduce the negative effects of caffeine on the brain. It improves blood flow throughout the body by supporting the structural integrity of the veins and capillaries in the body. It's also a powerful brain tonic, which is said to support the balance between the right and the left hemispheres of the brain. And CircuForce itself, the supplement, has a number of benefits which go well beyond brain health. It certainly supports a healthy cognitive function and an overall sense of well-being. It's a powerful brain tonic, but it also promotes healthy circulation throughout our body. It also supports immune health and adrenal gland function. It helps to normalize our body's inflammatory response with a number of different powerful antioxidant compounds. It supports heart and eye health, and it also tends to support increased energy and vitality in the body. So really a wide range of benefits that this supplement provides. And finally, now let's discuss how to use this product. We have two different sizes available. We have a 30 cap bottle and a 90 cap bottle. In terms of how to use the product, it's ideal to take one vegan cap per day on an empty stomach. You could certainly take this product with food. You'll still get benefit, but ideally take it on an empty stomach. And it's certainly appropriate to take up to 2 capsules a day. You could take a capsule in the morning as soon as you wake up and a capsule right before you go to bed, for example. That would be a great way to go. So I hope you enjoy using CircuForce. It's really a great brain tonic as well as overall body tonic. And hope you enjoy using it to support and improve the health of your brain and body.